Alright, hey. So this is another speed build, and unfortunately, I think the voice will be staticky and cracky because my connection is not the most stable, but that's fine. Hopefully, we can all just be patient, as I am, as I've recorded this many times, trying to figure out best way to record my voice, but it always comes out staticky anyway, so whatever. So in the beginning of the video, you saw I deleted a monstrosity of a roller coaster in terms of like ambition and size. It was a decent coaster for my like level of coaster building anyway, but I forgot to put a block break in the middle of this long coaster. So that means that there are two or more trains running at the same time. One train will always be like kind of stuck or stalled. Not always, but for the most of the time stuck at the top of the chain lift until the train in front of it goes through the entire long track. And the purpose of a block break in the middle is for safety, in case the train needs to stop for whatever reason, which doesn't really happen in this game. But really, it just stops the train if there's one in front of it that is still on a section of a track that that has not reached another block chain, or another block break, or the station or chain lift. Basically, properly and appropriately placed block breaks in a track, especially a long track, gives the creator an ability to put more trains on it running at the same time without any of the trains stalling or waiting for the other one to like finish a section of the track. So there's no stalling basically, with two or more trains. And for this one, I wanted two trains. So this video is longer than I thought because I'm recording for free. I haven't paid for any recording equipment yet, kind of cheap, but I'm recording this video right now using OBS, and in order for the fast forward effect that you see in my speed build here, I'm using Filmora, so I'm recording over a video I made on Filmora for free. So it's all for free. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, so I'll start with the location of this coaster first. I want to build a tropical coaster, a tropical environment, to put a coaster in, so the theming will be like tropical, like on a deserted island. With this specific environment, I manipulated terrain-wise. I have like a round, sandy sort of beach on the bottom left, there, and some surrounded by cliffs and like rolling green hills. This is sort of inspired by, sort of, what do you call it, postcard sort of photos of like Hawaii, or, just like tropical vacation getaway sort of panoramic shot type of thing. So I was debating which coaster to put on because I really wing my projects. I don't have a plan or a specific goal, except just make a coaster in an interesting location, a good one at that, like a good coaster that's not really realistic, because I like to push the boundaries on like coaster building. Because in this game, rides break down, but it's not like, I don't know, all the like real coasters where you gotta like, in the real world, where you have to maintain like track supports, I don't know, and different malfunctions that just aren't in this game. Anyway, so I was gonna build like the type of coaster that is popular, whose popular I don't know, kind of name is I don't know what the name of the coaster type is, but it's a launch coaster. Copperhead Strike, I think, and an American coaster in some American park. Anyway, this game has that coaster type, and I tried building a track on it, but for some reason I just can't get that track to be smooth. And I know how to smooth, coasters in this game. I've been playing this game for a while now, but for some reason there are some coasters I just can't make smooth. I can't just make smooth. But I don't know, it sounds like weird English grammar. I don't know. Anyway, so I abandoned that coaster type, and then I was thinking like, well, what type of coaster should I make here? And then, well, the obvious answer was the manta ray flying coaster, because for one, the train is a manta. And here in this tropical island location, manta rays, marine biology. Yeah, there's a connection in the theme here. And also, it's a flying coaster, which a coaster I've never really actually seriously made in Planet Coaster yet, so it's nice to play around with it. And I'm going to talk about the flying coaster itself, not my creation here, but like flying coasters in general throughout this speed build, because I think they are very fascinating roller coaster types, and I think one of my favorites because of how unique it is. So basically, if you look at the train in the station is under the track, but once the riders are in the seats that are under the track, latched onto the train that's under the track, it's pulled backwards, so the people riding are looking down, and then it goes up the inclined chain lift. And during the ride, the track could flip up, which means the riders will face up, and then it could also the track could also flip or down, so the riders face down. And I'm not talking about like normal loops. I mean, like, the actual ride for long sections can be like facing up or facing down, and it's a very unique thing for this coaster. And with that uniqueness also comes really unique G-force elements that I think only this coaster could provide compared to other coaster types. So I don't know if you can really see in this video. After the first drop, I made a compressed pretzel loop, which is like the norm for real world flying coasters. My pretzel loop is like compressed because it doesn't look like a pretzel; it just looks like a circle. But just because I want to do something a little different. When it comes to real flying coasters in the real world that utilize the G-force sort of concept in the pretzel loop, it doesn't do that. Those coasters, as far as I know, don't really explore that concept in other elements. Like, it's for some reason it seems really contained with just a pretzel loop. I don't know if it's for safety reasons or like mechanical complications, because I imagine this is a complicated coaster to operate and manage compared to others. But like, for example, like in this coaster that I'm building, I'm playing around with the G-force elements and like unique and different elements that aren't in real world flying coasters. And I kind of wonder, like, man, like this like if I design a coaster like this in the real world, it would be so much more creative and imaginative than like the flying coasters we see today, which they are fun, they are great. I rode Tatsu, the only flying coaster I've ridden, in Six Flags Magic Mountain in California, and it was awesome. It was great. But someone like me who dives too much into roller coasters as a hobby, can't help but think like, what if we had because the G-forces on those pretzel loops are so insane. They're so high, and you really feel it, and they are obviously the best parts of the flying coaster experience. I'm talking about real ones. Yeah, so if you see in this, like, I'm riding the coaster, and if you barely see, there are times where the coaster is facing up, and it's going through, like, whether it's an inversion or a helix or like half an inversion, half a loop, but it's facing into that like element, and it's facing up, and that's how you get the G-forces for this type of flying coaster. So I have more of those elements aside from the pretzel loop in this coaster, and that's why I'm like thinking as I'm building it, man, like, I don't know any flying coasters that have these like that just take advantage of like the coaster's uniqueness. I mean, because these inversions or these like G-force elements I put in my coaster here, like, they're safe, they're fine. Okay, the coaster looks completed, but I think, okay, got like a couple minutes left. So I'm just gonna I'll just be smoothing out the track. I don't really know what else to say. There are a lot of supports in this, because when you play this game, and every piece of track you put on, it comes with a track support. So you'll see here, I'll start deleting track supports, because it's just there's too many. And in the real world, I'm surprised, like, coasters don't have as many track supports as I would think, and I'm kind of a safety nut. But even aesthetically, like it looks better without all those track supports. So if it's good in the real world, yeah, I guess it's fine to do it in this fantasy universe of the game I'm playing. So yeah, I mean, just look at that last helix before the final block breaker run. Man, I wish we had more of those elements in real world flying coasters. So, what else? Yeah, so, yeah, I talked about the track supports, and I don't know if I didn't put this in, but like after I finished this creation, I shifted the whole coaster to the right of this sort of mountainous island I made because I wanted the sandy beach to be more presentable and not covered by the coaster. And I also will add in the thumbnail the coaster station I built, but it won't be in the speed build because the speed build is mainly just for the coaster and for me to ramble on about flying coasters and how real ones lack imagination. So, kind of a snobby critic there, but you know, they're great though. Flying coasters are fun and great. If you like roller coasters and you haven't ridden one yet, you gotta try one. They're all good. All the ones I know. There's one in SeaWorld. I think there's one in Alton Towers in Europe. Yeah, Tatsu, like I said, in California. Um, so yeah, finishing touches here, just smoothing out the coaster. And I try to make this, you know, realistic in the sense that like it could actually be like it could actually exist. Like it's not too crazy. It's smooth and it's fun. Um I'm probably gonna keep the colors. I like the colors. The blurple track. I love the color blurple. Just throwing that out there. And the track supports that are like light aquamarine. They're fine too. Alright, so as we wrap up the speed build, I just want to say, take it easy, y'all. Peace, and it's never too late to do what you want to do if you really want to do it.